Welcome back, fellow kids. You're looking well. I hope life hasn't kicked your ass too hard since we last met. Last video, I brought you Tier 4 of this handsome Nightmare on Elm Street iceberg, and predictably, this video is Tier 5. So sit back and relax, and I'll try to make the next 6 to 10 minutes as painless as possible. Subscribe to my channel for more vids like this, and enjoy! Nightmare on Elm Street Real Nightmares. In 2005, Robert Englund was set to host a reality TV game show called Nightmare on Elm Street Real Nightmares, where contestants would be put in real-life nightmare situations based on their own fears, similar to that show Fear Factor, if you've ever seen that. The show never aired, but the first few episodes were filmed and are allegedly shelved away somewhere never to be seen by the human eye. First Kills prequel film. First Kills was a script written for a prequel to the entire Nightmare series that never made it to screen. It would have featured Robert Englund as a pre-burn Freddy committing his first kills, of course, and a series of court trials that led to him repeatedly being released. The parents of Springwood would then, as you know, take justice into their own hands, which leads Freddy to arrive on Elm Street, and thus the series would begin. Original NES game advert. This is in reference to the original advert for the Nightmare on Elm Street NES game that was featured in a Nintendo Power magazine. The advert was about the game and explained that the player is Freddy Krueger, with the mission of killing the teenagers that are trying to find his bones and destroy him. The idea of playing as a killer that murders teenagers in a video game of course did not go over well with parents, and the idea for the game was changed after that advert was released, and the release version of the game you play as a series of teenagers who are searching for Freddy's bones instead. Which I guess being killed in a video game is somehow better than being a killer, but that's just how it is. Dream Police. Dream Police is a song by the band Cheap Trick released in 1979. I'm assuming this is on the list because if you read the lyrics from a certain angle, it could be framed as alluding to Freddy Krueger's dream escapades as the speaker goes on about being afraid to sleep because the Dream Police are driving him insane and making it hard to survive. Keep Her Awake game. Keep Her Awake was an online game that was released after the 2010 Nightmare remake. The game involves keeping a girl awake and thus safe for Freddy Krueger using various methods like caffeine pills and coffee. The game is no longer available for play, and the URL for the game redirects you to the Warner Brothers page for the original Nightmare film. Freddy vs. Jason 2. There has not been a sequel to our beloved Freddy vs. Jason from 2003, but plans for a sequel included the addition of a third horror icon, but not one that New Line Cinema would actually have to acquire the license for. The idea turned to Ash Williams from the Evil Dead series, which later became a comic series, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash, covered in a previous tier on this iceberg. There is currently no talk of a sequel, and we will sadly probably never see one as both franchises have released remakes. Peter Jackson's The Dream Lover. Peter Jackson, most known for directing, writing, and producing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, wrote a script titled Nightmare on Elm Street: The Dream Lover, which never came to fruition. The plot entailed children of Springwood no longer fearing Freddy, but rather wanting to sleep in order to encounter him and basically beat him up because he was so powerless. In the story, Freddy would eventually regain power and go on with his killing ways, and it would be this epic send-off to the franchise, because it was written as an idea for the 6th movie. But instead we got Final Nightmare, and you know how that goes. I'm not slandering Final Nightmare, I love that movie, but if you know, okay? You know. So I'm not going to say too much about this one, because I don't really want it up on my channel. But the original Freddy in movie 1 through 6 and New Nightmare was not portrayed to be this way, but in the remake it was made pretty explicit. He was going to be originally, but it was decided that he wouldn't be in order to not make him, I guess, so much of a monster to where there would not be a fan base cheering him on as he literally killed children. But take that for what you will. Bubblegum. Freddy's Bubblegum was released by the brand Topps in 1989. About 12 different tubes were released, and each with a unique Freddy sticker and quote. It was really just cheap pastel sugar-flavored gum, with the main selling point of it being Freddy's face. In the 80s, Freddy was such a hot icon that his face could basically sell anything, and it did. Not gonna lie, I definitely would have bought this, and I would still buy this, so I understand. It's gimmicky and cheap and kind of weird. Like, this one just calls Freddy a sex symbol. Like, what's that about? These aren't even movie quotes. I don't know how this happened, how it came to fruition, but I love it. And I wish I could have it. Okay, that was the end of Tier 5, the Nightmare on Elm Street iceberg. We're almost at the end of this iceberg. We just have a couple more tiers to go. And I, of course, have more videos planned for the future. But until that time comes, thank you for watching this one, and goodbye.